Καλησπέρα σας, καλοί φίλοι τηλεθεατές. Καλώς ορίσατε για ακόμα μια φορά. Good evening to you. I have to turn to English again, you know. This night I have with me not just one, but two new faces. One of the faces might be you saw it before in my program, the other one not. But tonight you're going to meet them both together. It's Adrianne Roy. Good evening, Adrianne. Kalispera.
Kalispera, Vasily. Again.
How are you? How are you? You
I'm
okay?
very well, thank you. Yes.
And I have Chantal, which is not French, is it?
Chantal is French.
It is French?
My surname is Portuguese.
Okay. What is your full name then?
Chantal de Carvalho.
My God, it's difficult for me to pronounce it.
Well,
but I call you
it.
Chantal, okay?
That's perfect.
Chantal.
Yeah.
Welcome to my program. And, you know, I'm sure we're going to have to entertain our people tonight. Adrianne.
Yes, I'm listening.
Yes, I'm coming to you first,
Okay.
We met about how many years ago? A few years back, okay? Mm-hmm. It was when you wrote the book, Do You Know Who I Am?
Yes, that's the one.
And when you came to me and you said, do you know who I am? I thought you didn't know who I am. And you were asking me if I know you.
Yes.
But I didn't know you.
You didn't. I didn't know you. You didn't know me.
No, but now
you didn't
I know
anything.
you.
Now I know you as well.
We know each other
and we
well
know each
now.
other.
Yes,
Absolutely.
That's good. That's good.
We've
Okay,
progressed.
so Do You Know Who I Am? The book.
Yes.
It's gone very, very well. Okay, and you sell quite a few copies.
Yes.
You
Or
know.
two. Joking.
Come on.
2000.
2000 at least.
in each occasion.
In each, yeah, in each area. Yeah.
Now, and then the film is coming very soon, and Chantal is taking over from you now. She's going to produce the film. Do You Know Who I Am?
That's correct.
So,
And I know who I am.
You do, I know you do, but I don't know who you are, and I'm going to find
This
out.
is Chantal de Carvalho.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about you, Chantal?
Well, it starts a very long time ago, so maybe I should
1932.
Maybe I should
Shorten it.
just keep it within what I'm doing with Adrian. Shall I do that?
No, please. Can you tell us? No,
So,
don't tell us
well-
when. Tell us where.
Tell us
Where
where.
you born?
Oh,
Where you born?
I was born in South Africa.
Yes. And
In Durban, in a lovely coastal town in Durban.
your parents Portuguese and French or what?
No, my I have a very potted history, and how much time do we have? But my parents were both South African. My father was in fact born in what was called Southwest Africa at the time of his birth, which is now Namibia. My mother is born in South Africa to Scottish and Afrikaner parents, and my father's born to Mauritian parents.
Okay.
So I have a
and
very,
when
very
did you
strange.
move to England?
Well, I moved to England.
And why?
I moved to England in 1999, and the reason for that was my husband's also in the film industry.
Okay.
He's a director of photography, and he was working more in Europe than he was
Okay.
in South Africa, so it just was a logical decision to come out
All
to
right.
the UK and base ourselves here. So that's why, and I'd sort of sworn at that time that I wasn't going to carry on in the industry anymore. I wanted to take a break. And I managed to take all of 2 years as a break whilst sort of just, you know,
Yes.
made sure that children were able to integrate into the UK nicely. And then, you know, I was pulled back into it again. People asking me to produce something little or, you know, I just started producing again.
Okay, before we go to what you produced, I want to ask Adrianne, just give us a little bit background. Because you were born in England from Cypriot parents.
Yes.
Okay, and tell us about your life, because it's about your life, the book, isn't
This
it?
is your life now. Amen.
Yes, yes.
Where's the book?
This
Where's the
is
red
your
book?
life.
Oh no, this is your life, a proper one.
Okay, come on then, tell us who you are.
Okay, born in London, Hackney, to Cypriot parents. Had a very fraught upbringing. Been from a strict family, weren't allowed out. I was very studious. I wanted to get away from home, so I studied very hard and left home at 19 and went to uni to study law. My mum wanted me to be a doctor, so she wasn't very happy. But when I said lawyer, she felt all right.
Yeah.
Especially when I told her that I wanted to be an actress first of all, and she nearly
my
chucked
God.
me out of the house. But I studied law, qualified in '87, became a criminal lawyer for 4 years, became a property lawyer after that, 15 years. But it's not something I really wanted to do. Although it was good at the time. And I've always wanted to write.
Do You Know Who I Am your first book, yes?
Do You Know Who I Am is my first published book.
Published
I've
book,
actually
yeah.
written many things in the past, articles and all sorts, but this is a first novel-ish type book I've done. I always wanted to write it, and I had the opportunity when I retired from the law to write it, finally. I'm glad I did.
Okay, lovely. And how you two meet? I mean, you know, how it comes? I mean, is it by coincidence, by accident, or it was planned? Or what?
We met in Cannes, at the film festival in Cannes, some years ago.
Okay.
Adrian had come along with some friends who, mutual acquaintances, and so that's how we met.
That's
and
how
got talking about, what I do, and she said at the time she was writing a book.
I was actually writing it at the time when I met her. I was actually writing it.
Yes.
Do you remember we were sitting in the marquee and I was writing. She said, "What are you writing?" And writing a book, and that's how it started.
Okay, when she published the book and she came to me, she said to me, "I know someone, she's a producer, and I will give her the book to see if she liked it." So what's happened when she gave you a book?
Well, I read it.
Yes.
And sometimes when somebody gives you a book to read, it's quite terrifying because you're going.
You have to tell them the truth.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'm quite awful at the sort of thing. I always tell the truth, so it's a bad thing sometimes. And but when I read it, I was charmed from the moment I started reading to the end. It's such an authentic book. It's just so full of passion and life, and it's completely identifiable for so many people. Yes, definitely for Greek Cypriots who've grown up in the UK. It's certainly identifiable for women, particularly who've grown up in that environment, but for women in general, which I thought was very important. And if you are looking at something in terms of turning it into a film, it does have to have a wider sort of market that you can get it out to. It's no use saying, well, it's great for the Greek Cypriot market, or the Greek market. You really do have to think of it in terms of a wider appeal.
Yes.
So I really think it had that.
It has, yes.
So I was so relieved to be able to say to Adrian, I loved it.
I loved it, yes.
And she meant it as well.
Yeah.
And then we started talking quite seriously then about my company optioning the book to make
be a
it
film.
into a screenplay. Yeah.
Okay, now just to let our people know about the story. It's happening here in London. When, Adrianne?
Right, so it's about the generation of Cypriots that came over from the village in Cyprus to England in the 1940s and 50s, expecting to find a better life for themselves, and ended up in cities. In this case, it was the East End of London, in Hackney, in post-war London, where the Blitz had just taken place, and the conditions that they actually found wasn't entirely what they expected. And it's the life that they developed from there and how they raised their children, hence our generation. And so a lot of the latter part of the book is based on true events from how I was brought up, even though the character of Annie is based on true events in my life. There's many different characters in there from different families, all rolled into one. And it's a comedy, and it's historic, nostalgic. When you talk about your own book, it's a bit, it's a bit difficult, but all the reviews have been overwhelming. Everyone's related to it, from Cypriots to the Irish, to the Italians, to the Jewish, Iranians. Everyone that's read it so far has related to that character.
Yes.
Even though she's Greek Cypriot, she could quite easily be any girl brought up in the 60s in a city with foreign parents.
Okay, so Chantal, where we stand now? I mean, what is the situation now? Where are we?
So at the moment, we've commissioned the screenplay. A very talented writer called Camilla Leslie, who has previously had her work produced. And so the great thing with Camilla is that she understood the book immediately. Her feedback after I'd given it to her to read was just...
It's a great story, actually.
You know, exactly how we would have expected somebody to understand the book in order to serve it as a screenplay. And so she was really excited. I mean, you know, straight away she sent us an email with sharing some quite intimate parts of her life in terms of how she identified with the story. And so we're really excited at that. You know, we'd sent it out also to other writers, but her response was possibly the best we could have hoped for.
Well, she wanted to meet us straight away, and we met her in Soho, and she walked in she walked with the book in her hand, and every single page had notes in it. Notes of it. She knew that every character, every scene, every line, every quote. She completely felt the story, and she had so much passion. We had to give it to her.
So, in the case of locations, there is locations in Cyprus and London as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. Predominantly the story takes place in London. And in Birmingham, and, you know, but there is a fair amount happening in Cyprus, and most of that is actually period. So it's the 1940s Cyprus and 1960s Cyprus.
And then... the rest is over here.
And the rest is here, yes.
So what are you looking for? I mean, do you have any ideas of what kind of film it's going to be? I mean, is it going to be a low budget, big budget film? What are the plans? Yeah.
Probably the way that people look at film these days, it will be what they call a low budget film, but you know, anything under 8 million is a low budget film.
Yes.
So it's hard to say at this stage until such times I really do have the script in place and we get a director on board, because the kind of director we're looking for is somebody profiled who has at least 1 or 2 successful films behind them and who understands this genre. And so depending on who that director is, it does dictate what kind of budget you're looking at as well, you know. So I don't really want to say anything right now in terms of this is the budget for sure, you know, but it's certainly not, you know, an ultra low budget. It's not
good to have an idea. So in the case of budget, in the case of might be sponsorships, are you looking for sponsorships? You know,
I think that forms a part of your budget and the way that you make a film in terms of product placement and that sort of thing. I think what's more important to say is that Adrian and I are very much on the same page with this. Is that we're really determined to have the Greek and the Greek Cypriot community as involved as possible in the making of the film.
That's good.
So
there might be some potential sponsors who are listening now, and they might be wanting to put some money.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know,
we've already had so many offers already without even them seeing the script, just by hearing about the book and just by reading it.
Very good.
But
so
when time comes,
you're very happy and you know, I mean, confident, you know, about finding the right budget, right money.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, once we've set the budget, yes, you know, you go about getting it financed through various channels, but certainly the sort of a contingency that will be private funding. I think we know already where most of that will come from.
Yeah, as a writer, I mean, you wrote the book. It doesn't matter about the script. The script it will come, but it's based on your book.
Yeah.
Do you have anything in mind, like famous actors to play a couple of parts?
Yeah, we've got quite a few we'd like to play. But whether or not we can get those people depend entirely on the script and the budget. Vasilis, I know where you're getting at. I know where this question is leading. We haven't got anyone in mind at the moment.
You haven't?
Until we get the script.
Yes, that's right.
And until we've got a director on board.
Okay, so what are the plans at the moment? Where are we going next?
Next step is having the completed script. And then that gets broken down into components so that we know how long we're going to have to shoot for and where we're going to shoot and what kind of artists we're going to have. But the most important thing is getting it out to directors and having them read the script and to get their interest and get the very best director that we can.
Do you have anybody in mind as a director? Or
A few,
A few.
but it's there are
you
some.
haven't
There are
talked to them
some.
yet, don't you?
No, haven't
No,
spoken to anyone.
no.
There's no point. I mean, you only get one crack at them. So you
So
do it
from
once.
our community, what do you want to say to them? What you say you want the community to get involved. What kind of involvement and what do you want to say to them?
Well, I think we have already spoken to a lot of people who, people who are musicians or composers or arrangers. So on the music side, we've had we've been talking to a lot of different people,
Yes.
artists, singers and musicians in that sense. We've already spoken to somebody who will help us with one of the major scenes in the film.
Yeah.
I don't want to say what.
No,
really,
we
but,
can't say
but,
that at the moment,
because
but-
it's their business,
Yes.
and they've offered.
They're all offering their businesses, their services. We've been
That's
offered extras coming out of our ears at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you
we've
have
had to put them in line.
any what do you call it, locations in London in mind? Is it going to be London, out of London? Is
It's probably more likely to be in London because that's where we're all based. So, from a production point of view, it'll be easier. But also the book is based in London.
in London?
The majority of the book is based in London, so it's more likely to be
I mean, you'll be very surprised. Sometimes you see a film that is set in 1960s London and it was shot in Liverpool. So it really is about finding the right location for what has been set in the film more than it is going, it's meant to be London, so we'll shoot in London.
Yes.
There's certainly a cost-effective element to shooting outside of London. rather than
Can you
in.
give us a couple of examples? I mean, talk about a couple of productions you did for our people. They might be interested to know.
Sure.
Yes.
In the UK,
In the
I
UK,
have
yeah.
I've done a couple of feature films, which are very low budget films. And certainly not what we're talking about here in genre or in budget. But the one movie I've done is called Credo, and it's a horror film.
Oh my God!
It's
I don't like horror films. No, not me. Do not give me
great.
me your website, but give it to our.
Well, the company is called Coco and Claude Films, and the
okay.
website is cocoandclaude.com.
Okay, they can go there and find
can
out.
go there. But
Can they see
but
some
you-
clips there? Or?
Yes, definitely.
yeah.
But I think what you'll see, more information on this film is on our website, which is Do You Know Who I Am?
Themovie.com.
In your website.
Yeah.
Yes, so this
Yes.
is for, dedicated to the film.
So it's actually 3 W's. Do you know who I am?
Yes.
.com.
Yes.
Yes. and
Themovie.com. Do you know who I am?
do you know who I am?
Themovie.com.
Themovie.com. Okay, 3 W's. Do you know who I am? Themovie.com. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
You'll get it right in the end.
You see, I told you I was going to get it right. Yes. So, Adrianne,
Yes.
what is the highlight of the book, and is this going to be included in the script? The highlight.
The highlight of the highlight of what we're going to put in the movie.
Yes, yes.
Well, it's going to be a surprise because
Come on.
No, because everyone that's read the book
Yeah.
will be expecting what's in the book, but they're going to have a few little surprises, and they might even have a different ending to what they have read.
Okay. You might be change it, yeah?
Yes, we'll probably change it.
Why?
But there are,
Just to give it a bit of a
spice,
a
yes.
oomph at the
Yeah.
end.
But in the book, there are some really great events and sequences which we've been absolutely determined to keep in the film, because they make great set pieces, as we call them, even though it's a drama, the film will be a drama, but
Comedy
it's
drama.
whimsical, so dramedy, but it's whimsical, and there's so many moments of humour that come out of just being who the characters are. The characters are larger than life, and very interesting. Familiar to so many people, and yet to so many other people watching it, be like, God, what amazing
Shock.
characters! Not seen that before. And so the comedy arises out of that. So it's not the sort of falling off your chair laughter like Borat or something, but it's.
One's funnier than Borat.
In a different way.
In a different way.
But it's so it's drama with comedy.
Yes. Okay, in this case, me, I am looking forward to see you again before the movie, okay? And looking forward to see the movie.
Oh, good.
When do you think you're going to start filming?
Oh.
It's how long is a piece of string? But, you know, once you have your first few steps in place, like get your director, and then with the director you start choosing your cast, and then once you've got the cast in place, then you can actually start marketing the film and, you know, packaging it for finance. And,
Okay,
I mean,
might be beginning of next year or?
well,
Beginning
you
of
know,
next year now, I doubt it.
it would certainly not start shooting the beginning of next year. No.
I mean, whilst we're waiting for the script, we've been doing a lot of constructive work behind it to get a lot of things brought forward rather than waiting, just sitting around waiting. But we were talking about this earlier, we were hoping that at least by beginning of the year we will have a director on board.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have
So
the
we're aiming
script
for
ready
about
and director.
January, we will have the director on board, and
Yeah,
then that's where it will start
Yeah.
to move.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's very good news, especially for the community.
Yeah.
I'm sure our people here, they're going to be very happy to, see this book going into the film, making into the film. And I'm sure many of our people, they're looking forward to become extras.
Yeah.
Yes.
Extras.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
going
yeah.
to be extra. You're going to be extra. You're going to be extra.
We are looking for extras
They're looking
in
for
all
many
sizes,
extras, yes.
shapes, ages,
We've-
heights, anything.
We've got a lot of people signed up already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what we encourage anybody to do is to go on to www.
3 W's dot.
Do
you
you
know
know
who I am? TheMovie.com.
And there is a page there where you can contact us and, send any
they
comments.
can sign and all this.
Yeah,
That's-
send
yeah.
any of your
Register.
comments and just register your interest in the film. And when the time is right, then we'll
Yeah.
just start keeping in touch with all those people and keep them up to date with what we're doing.
Lovely. So remember, it's 3 W's dot. Do you know who I am? Dot themovie.com.
Are you trying to convince yourself, are you?
Am
I
I
mean, everyone's
good?
heard it a
This is
million
what I'm trying to
times.
do.
You did it.
I did it. I did it my way. Okay.
It's my way or the highway.
Well, girls, thank you very much for being here tonight. It's my pleasure to have the Beauty and the Beast here. You
I
agree
didn't
with
say a
that?
word.
I'm,
You
just,
agree?
I'm not saying
I never said a
anything.
word.
You agree with the first part, at least? Yes?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
No comment.
Chantel, nice to have you on my show.
Thank
Okay,
you.
and I
Thanks
wish
for
you all the
having
best with the production, and very soon, maybe by next year, the end of next year, we can be able to see the film on.
End of next year, maybe we might be finding people for extras.
Yes, for extras.
Yeah.
Yes. Andriani, nice to have you on the show again, and
Again,
wish
yeah.
you all the best.
Thank
and
you.
Good luck for everything. Thanks for being here tonight. Κυρίες και κύριοι, καλοί φίλοι τηλεθεατές, it was my pleasure to have these two lovely girls here tonight, and we learned about the movie Do You Know Who I Am, and it's 3 W's dot Do You Know Who I Am dot.
He's done it completely wrong again.
themovie.com. Okay, have a good night. See you next week at the same time. Thank you. I love you. Mwah. Bye. Good night to you. Καληνύχτα.
Καληνύχτα.
Thanks. Thank you.
Καληνύχτα.
Bye bye.
Bye.